Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Katie here from Katie's World. In this video, I'm going to be putting together the cover for my 5x7 flap album kits, whether you have the base kit or you have the Disney autographs kit. I also have some new ones coming out. I'm going to be doing a school photos one. I'm going to be doing some baby's first year boy and girl ones, and I have a few others actually in the work. Same style, all put together the same, just completely different decorative papers and themes. So this is how I do it. Now, of course, when you have one of my kits, you're going to receive the full color step-by-step instruction sheets with a full written tutorial as well as photos for each step. But I figured this video will also help you out if you're having any additional struggles with it. Then you can do it right along with me. So let's go ahead and get started. So as always, I'm not going to be giving specific measurements because you can actually use these techniques with any of my album kits, just depending what you have and what type of album it is. But look at the measurements and everything, and that will help you. But in this particular one, we do have a cover 1 of 2 piece and a cover 2 of 2 piece. They're already cut for you in the kits, and if you are making your own, because you do receive the full cutting guides with your kits, so I encourage you to save those and make as many more albums as you'd like. But when you have to cut your own paper, make sure you're cutting along the bendy side for these, and it will say that in your kit, but I'll just explain. The bendy side is when you take your paper and you just kind of bend it, it bends easier on one side and it does on the other. This doesn't bend as easy. So we're going to be wrapping this around the cover, around the chipboard, around the spine, and you don't want that cracking. So if you make sure that you're going with the grain or with the bend, it's less likely to crack. So the first thing we're going to do with this piece is, I'm just going to check here. It says to put the tape on the smooth side. So this particular paper, this is Basil cardstock called Raven. I do sell this in bulk in my shop. It is, I think it's currently sold out as I'm filming, because that has been like on back order for, I don't know, at least a month or more. But I'm ordering like 2,000 sheets. So once that comes in, because I have a lot of projects coming, and I want to have that offered and available for you. So that will be back in the shop if it's not currently when you're watching this video. But yeah, so one side is textured. I'm not sure if you can see. Oh, wait, there we go. Kind of focusing. And the other side is smooth. So on the smooth side, I'm going to just remove these labels. On the smooth side, we're going to take 3/8 inch tape here, and we're going to place it along just the right edge of this larger piece. You know what? I'm just going to go up here on this side and I'll flip it around. Now, I want to overlap it because I want end-to-end coverage. So I'm going to let it overhang on the side there, but I want to put it as close to that edge as possible without going over. Let me grab my scissors. Okay, so just super close, but do not go over. You don't want any overhang there. But I do overhang here because I want end-to-end coverage with the tape. I'm just flipping it over and then trimming it off with the tape. Then I am going to take my bone folder. Grab that. Okay, so I'm just going to take my bone folder, or you can even use a straight edge. You can use your ruler. I'll just show you a couple of different ways. You can take your ruler and just go like this, or any nice sturdy straight edge. I'm going to use the bone folder. Just go like that. You just want to burnish that tape down real nice. Okay. Now we're going to take this. Now make sure this is also flipped over on the smooth side. Move that tape. And now we only want to go as far up as far as the tape will go. Don't go beyond it, and don't have any tape exposed. If tape is exposed, it's not the end of the world, because you're on the smooth side. If you're on the textured side, that would not be a good thing because that's the outside of the album. The smooth side is the inside of the album. So this is all going to get taped anyway. So if a little bit of tape is exposed, it's okay. But try to just go right in line with that tape. So I like to do the bottom first and just get it lined up with the bottom edge and just up to the edge of the tape, and then work my way up, keeping it in line with that tape. And now it should be straight all the way across. Perfect. Okay, so there you go. So now it's just attached. So now you have one long piece, and that was the whole goal of that step. So now, excuse me. So now we're going to, we want to fully cover this with tape. I'm using score tape. I do carry this in my shop as well. I will put the links below in this video of for the supplies that I carry. So I'm trying to see what size tape. So I definitely want to start with my 6-inch roll. Okay, and then let's see, I think this is like a 2.5. This is a 2.5. And oh, it looks like I can do a 6-inch, a 2.5, and a 1-inch. And that'll be perfect. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. You don't have to have all these sizes to do it. I do recommend having a 6-inch or at least a 2 or 2.5, because you don't want to just work with a million skinny strips on here. That's just doing too much. So I'm going to peel this off. Notice I'm doing it upside down. I do it this way because I don't want the tape to touch that, but I want to be able to just trim it. I don't want to try to put the tape on while holding this. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this off. So I'm doing it upside down so it's not touching the paper. I'm going to pull it over. Now you do not want this to touch the paper until you are ready. So pull it really tight. I'm going to kind of angle it up like this, so it'll only touch the bottom first. And I'm just centering it. So there's a little bit of overhang on the left and the right. And I'm putting it just up to the edge. Again, do not go over the edge. You can go over the edge. If it's easier for you to go over the edge and then just trim off, in this case, that is totally fine. Okay, I'm just going to quickly burnish this, and I'll burnish it better when I have it all on. So now I'm going to do the 2.5. Trim it slightly longer. Okay, now this time I'm going to butt it up again. So hold your tape not quite 90 degrees, maybe 45 degrees. I'm going to hold it like this. I'm going to put this finger here so it does not touch down. Or I'm kind of like putting my nail down there so it doesn't touch down till I'm ready, and that just helps me steady. I'm going to push it against it. Don't overlap it. Try not to have any gaps. It's not the end of the world if you have a little bit of gap, but try not to. You don't want to overlap it because you could end up feeling that lump on your cover. I've done that before. Oh, it's no big deal. It's thin tape. I still feel it. I just didn't like that. So, excuse me. Okay, so now I'm going to use the 1-inch. And because it's, well, maybe I will trim it first. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so now I'm going to burnish it real well, even right here where it, the smaller piece overlaps. I'm just going to push into that, get it in there real good, especially those edges, because we're going to trim off. Okay, so I'm going to pick it up. Make sure you're doing this on a cutting mat too. I have a nice big cutting mat from Fiskars here. Don't cut your table. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Fiskars fingertip knife, and I like to just put my pointer finger in there, and then I hold it like I would a pen, and then we're going to go ahead and so now the way I did it, I don't have any overhang on one side. So I'm going to start up here at the corner with my knife above just a bit. I'm going to pull down, and now I'm just kind of pressing it against the edge of the cardstock, but careful not to let it slip over onto the cardstock. You don't want to cut your cardstock. And I'm pressing down pretty firmly, giving it real good pressure here. Ooh, got a little bit of the cardstock. Okay, and now I'm going to do this side. This stuff is very sticky, so I try to either fold it over or crumple it up, do something so it doesn't stick to anything. Okay, we're gonna do this side. Okay, make sure you put your protective cap on there. All right, so now, oh, and I don't know if I mentioned, I also do carry this in my shop. I will link that below as well. The scissors, if you're wondering, I got these from Costco. They are the Scotch brand titanium nonstick blades. If they ever do get sticky, just use alcohol wipe on them. Very careful not to obviously cut your fingers, but that does help. I haven't, they're really good. I don't really get a lot of sticky on them, but once in a while, if you're just doing a lot cutting. Then I just want to burnish these edges really good. So when I go to pull up that tape, I don't want it to pull up the cardstock. So you want to make sure push down real good on the edge. All right, so now we are ready for our chipboard. We're going to add our chipboard now. So in this particular album, this particular case, the shorter end you want on the right side, that's going to be the back of your album. Actually, it doesn't matter right now when we're, oh, I totally forgot a step. I totally forgot a step, you guys. Okay, that's a bad tutorial. I am so sorry. I just, oh my goodness. Before adding this tape, we were supposed to, see if I can backtrack here a little bit. I'm going to eyeball it on mine because I don't want to do this all over again. But I'm going to show you what to do. I got a pen. So hopefully you haven't already started yours. Hopefully you watch this first. I'm so sorry. Not the end of the world. If you've done it, we can still figure this out or eyeball it. So basically, I'm going to do it with a pen on the tape. But what you actually want to do is before you add all of this tape, you want to use a pencil on the cardstock on the smooth side. So I'm going to do it with the pen on here just so you can see how to do it. But I take my Tim Holtz design ruler, also carried in my shop, link is below, and you want to measure over 1 inch. So each of these squares is 1 inch. You can even do it this way because they have like a bold line here. If you do it this way over, that's 1 inch. That might even be easier. You're going to line that up. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to pick one of these lines going this way. Sorry, it was off camera. And I'm going to line that up with the bottom. And then the bold line I'm going to line up with the side, making sure it's straight. Hold it in place. And you're just going to take your pencil on the cardstock. Just doing it here. I don't even know if the pen's going to show up. Basically, you run your pencil up and down a few times. Yeah, you don't even see it with the pen's not even showing up. Maybe a marker. Oh, forget it. Okay. So sorry about that. So basically, you're going to do that on the cardstock. Then you're going to turn it around. You're going to do the same thing down here. Run it along, run it along. Then when you peel off your tape, you see that pencil line through your tape because it is clear tape. That's why you want to make your pencil line like really bold because it will be nice and oh, check it out. It's still indented. Ha! well then, yeah, we can do that. Okay, that's awesome. So yes, if you are doing this along with me, and I screwed you up, I'm so sorry. But yeah, you can see the indent from the pen. So that totally works. I'm trying to see. It doesn't matter if it's coming through this side as far as an indent, because that's where we're going to fold it anyway. So it really shouldn't matter, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to do it along this side because then I'll have that guide. Now I'm actually seeing that because I use the 1-inch tape, technically, I've already got a 1-inch line because the 1-inch tape is right there and everything's straight. So I'm okay. So I could technically use that, but I'm going to do this just for tutorial sake. So I'm lining it up again with the inch. Oh, it's moving. It slides because the tape is so slick. I wish this ruler had like some kind of non-stick or non-slide grip or something on it. But so yeah, you're just going to do it all along the edge. Again, preference would be a pencil on the cardstock, but this is actually good because you can see how to just keep going. The project is not screwed up. You make a mistake, you just adapt. So, okay, we're going to grab this tape. So now it's not as prevalent as if I did a pencil, but it's good enough. I can see it. Can you see that? So we've now got a line here and a line going across here. You can't really see it, but it's there. And then there's going to be like a little crisscross. So that's where we're going to start our chipboard. So for this album, we've got 2 large pieces and 1 thinner piece. We're going to start with 1 large piece. Put this corner in the corner of the crisscross. Line it up with the lines. Keep it as straight as possible. This you can also eyeball. You basically want about, give or take, about 1 inch of border all the way around. So then we're going to take this piece and you want 1/8 of an inch in between, keeping it as straight as you can. Now I'm just eyeballing here. It's getting a little crooked. Did I make my, oops. I don't want this to go crooked. It feels like my hand is sticking. It doesn't look crooked. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, maybe I started this crooked. It looks straight to me, so I don't know why it's going off, but it'll be okay. So this is supposed to be perfectly straight, but it is a little bit thinner up here than it is down here. Again, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You don't want it too close, but you want enough to wrap around. So doing 1 inch gives you that leeway of that forgiveness there. So we're going to go ahead and trim these off, leaving about 1/8 of an inch away from the corner. Okay, so now I've got all 4 corners trimmed. We're going to pick this up, press one side down really good. I'm just pushing it down. I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to pick up the other side, press it down, fold it over. Okay, so now we're going to take the bone fold. You can even do this if you like. See, and as you can see, this is a little bit thicker here and a little bit thinner there. Yeah, like it's supposed to be even, but this is all going to be covered up with decorative paper anyway, so you're not going to see that. You're just going to see a little 1/8 of an inch border of black around, and that's all we want to see. So it's okay. So for this corner, we don't want our corners to stick out when we fold this over. So I'm going to take the bone folder, push it down. I'm going to kind of push it in as well. Kind of pushing it in and down. So I'm going to push it. Okay, I'm going to do that to all 4 corners. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pick it up, push it down. Okay, I'm going to take my bone folder, smooth it out. Beautiful. Okay, so now to fold this in, I'm just going to very gently press into the gaps there so it'll fold with it. Don't go more than 90 degrees. I mean, well, yeah, that's a little bit more. But yeah, you don't want to like flatten it. Then it will tear your paper. That won't be good. So just like that. Perfect. Done. Cover's done. Beautiful. When you go to decorate, keep your seam on your back. You're going to cover it with decorative paper. But you might see a little bit of this. I mean, this really not that noticeable, that little bit. But for me, I'd rather just keep that on the back. So it just looks nice and clean on the front. But no, it's really not noticeable unless you're going to be looking for it. And that's it. So thank you so much for staying to the end. Bear with me. I apologize if I kind of screwed you up there in the middle. But hopefully it all worked out and it's all good. So thanks so much for watching. Check out our next video. We're going to be putting our hinges together in the next video. We're going to be attaching those as well. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up button below. Once again, there's links below to any of the products that I do carry that I've used today. And I have one kit left, I believe, for my Disney autograph album. So I'll try to remember to link that below. And as I come up with other ones, I'll try to remember to link those. But yeah, thanks so much. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the magic here at Katie's World. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram where I post updates for upcoming projects. Always working on something new. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.